Welcome to the Tom Castro Shooting Academy podcast. You have now entered the next level. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Tom Castro Shooting Academy Next Level podcast. So I have some special guests on here because they are dumb enough to keep coming on here and volunteer for this sport. So I know I say that a lot, but I truly appreciate you guys for all the hard work that you do. Mr. Todd Holmes. Well, maybe not Todd Holmes. I don't appreciate his.
I don't do anything.
But and Mr. Matt Hopkins from the South Carolina Sectional, baby. All right. So let me start off with paying the bills. One of our sponsors for the podcast is Pro Shot Products, something I've been using for a long time. So here we go. Here at Pro Shot Products, our mission is to provide American-made quality products for all your firearms. We are a family-owned company of outdoor shooting sports products, sport shooting, hunting, and defense products, to name a few. We are proud to be an American-made company since 1982 and will continue to support all your firearm maintenance needs. Well, since I just talked about Pro Shot Products, I'll start off with they are a sponsor for the vendor area. And actually, what are we using them for, Todd? We're using them for all of our safe tables this year, yes?
Yep, all 9 of them.
So they are a returning sponsor for the match for South Carolina. They were our safe table sponsors last year. And it was kind of funny because I remember this conversation very, very clearly. I said, Todd, I got a great sponsor I want to bring into the match. And he goes, we don't have any more space for him. He goes, what do you think? And he goes, oh, I know. We can make them the safe table sponsor. So it's kind of funny because Todd's made a bunch of imaginary stages or imaginary sponsorship areas since we started bringing in so many sponsors. So it was kind of funny. He's like, dude, we're running out of stages. We're out of state. We don't have anything to do with it. I was like, we don't need stages, man. We just need to have space for them to show off their stuff and do our thing. I don't think we need stages as much as we used to as a sponsor thing. I think if we just keep doing vendor areas and bring customers in, I think the stages don't mean as much as they used to for sponsors. So we got a lot to talk about. Let's get to it. So Matt, dude, what are you up to? How's it going setting up everything for the match? Because you are in charge of stages this year, yes?
It's going good. I think we're at a point where I just have to kind of put the grid lines down and get a bunch of different views. So anybody that gets a piece of paper can kind of see exactly kind of what we had in mind and then make minor adjustments on the ground.
I think that's a great idea, man. You know, I never thought about that, but when you do it that way, you no longer have to kind of like, hey, where's Matt? You know, what did Matt exactly want? Or what did Tom want on the design? Or you can kind of just follow that paper because we've sat down and looked at it a few times as a group and said, yeah, man, we like it. I think it's good the way it is. We just maybe a few adjustments here and there, but it's a lot easier to make small minor adjustments than it is to build the entire stage and try to make it perfect, right? It's so if you have that grid line, you can kind of get really, really close and then just make minor adjustments versus let's start perfect at the beginning.
Yeah, I haven't done that before at a match, but I hope we can hand it off to multiple people without having to have someone there and like break up into more sets of people.
Yeah.
And then if they get 90% of the way, I mean, that's a huge thing. And then you just have to tweak a little bit of it.
I feel like that's what we did last year. We were very successful last year because we broke it up in small groups. And then the only time I ever remember us having just a ton of people on one stage was when we got to the like 2 massive stages up at the top, like 7 and 8. Those things were just so like the door stage knocking over the ramp. 9 was with the 4 bobbers. We just had so much stuff going on. I remember turning back and going, dude, we got more people here than we had for the entire setup for the entire match and into one bay. So it was, it is very nice to just go over and tweak stuff than it is to just bring it all out and start from scratch. It takes a lot of time to do that with an entire group of people.
Yep. And you'll be able to have 3 leaders at least because you'll have Chris Holiday, Tyler, and, Ryan Flowers helping you with the stages. So if we have enough people, you can break up into 3 groups and go.
So let's talk about, you know, that's a great point, Todd. I'm glad you brought that up. So and I'm just going to speak for you on this one, but I think what he means by leaders is very, very experienced stage designers. Like these guys build every weekend. They're really good shooters. So like they understand shoot throughs and that kind of stuff, built a lot of stages. And that is a key feature or thing that South Carolina has had since I became part of it, was there always a group of people that actually are really good shooters that understand like how a stage needs to be built to not break it. And I think that's kind of the big thing about big matches is you're trying to break it before everybody else figures it out so that you don't have anything wrong during the match, right? Like when you have 350, 400 shooters coming into the stage, you got to imagine I'll be nice. Some person is going to figure out a way to hang off a wall with 1 foot, 1 toe, you know, gorilla grip something they're not supposed to grab. So you're trying to find all of the ways to keep them from doing that, you know? And I think that's a big part of like this match, especially like having Matt take the lead, but understanding that there's so many other great guys in the crew that can do that. It makes a big difference when it comes to like trying to run this, like build stages without having a babysitter. Because if you're the babysitter, holy crap, man, your brain is fried. You actually miss way more than you would have if you would have just came over and just kind of done the details. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's a big deal. Very, very big deal. What is the schedule look like this year for building?
We'll probably start with 10, 9, 8, 7 first because they're the farthest, and we'll drag everything over there. We'll have at least 1 trailer, possibly 2 this year. And then we'll go to the bay behind the clubhouse. And then when we're all worn out, we'll have all the close ones where everything's right there.
Yeah.
So we'll have the most people on that day also. So
yes, on Sunday, we'll have the most people by far.
We did it last year opposite, and we ended down there, and we were all
yes,
horrible.
We were all done, I think, at that point,
Yeah.
and we're just trying to get some stuff ahead so the weak crew wouldn't have quite as much.
Yep.
Yeah. The 3 or 4 bays that we have up top, or that Belton has up top, are the farthest and biggest bays of all the bays that we have to build. So, and what I mean by the farthest is it's, I don't know, 5 minutes of a drive at least. And all the equipment is down by the main, I think there's 6 competition bays, right?
Yep.
And so what we're working with is there's 100-yard bay that we have to build on. So we have to drive at least 50 to 75 yards inside the bay before we can actually build anything on it. So imagine golf carting, steel, all that stuff. Luckily you can drive on all of this stuff, but it's still, you got to get it there, right? So all the walls, all the barrels. I remember there's a 16-foot trailer there that we filled up to the point where we took everything out there, and we still had to go back and get more because we couldn't get it all in the trailer in one run. Barrels, just the amount of barrels you need, fault lines, like, you know what? I'm really glad you guys brought that up, because one of the big things about this match that I learned was that know exactly what you have and know exactly what you need on a piece of paper, because anybody can go and count 5 steel for this, 3 walls, 4 walls, bop. And then when you get there, you load it all in the trailer, and then you go, okay, 5 walls to this stage, 14 barrels to this, and it's just keep it organized by writing it all down. So there's never a looking at the picture and trying to count targets doesn't go very well. Right? So having it on an actual list made a giant difference for us last year, because I remember grabbing Todd's truck, and the first thing I did was, all right, man, listen, I don't care about building. I'm just going to grab all the stuff and throw it on the base. And that's the first thing I did to start our day off every single day. It was just get it all out there so then we could build it.
Yep. Maybe you won't break some walls this year.
How did I break walls?
You kind of ran them into the fence or the 300-yard range.
Oh yeah, that's right. That fence moved and jumped in my way. Actually, can we talk about that fence that had a piece of damn barbed wire sticking off of it, like in a loop, and it grabbed the end of the, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I definitely drove it into the fence. No, I mean, I did hit the fence for sure, but that had a lot to do with that thing had a big ass loop hanging off of it and grabbed a hold of the leg.
I wasn't there for it. I just saw
Oh, it was
the
awesome.
aftermath.
Yeah, it was great because I got to repair those walls personally afterwards. It was great. I really enjoyed that because you know why I had to repair those walls, Todd? Because you used every wall you owned for the match
Yep.
last year. Yeah, we bought. You guys built a ton of extra walls just to do that match last year, right?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, if we don't have that prop inventory and then check it against the stages, like, how do you know what you need
Yep.
or
Yeah.
have?
You don't. You end up building the day you start building the match, which is
That
never going to work
sounds
out.
horrible.
Yes. I don't
Yes,
know. I just went to a match that I had to do that. It was pretty horrible.
I was like, I've never ran even a local without that list. It would be horrible.
That's why you are a great leader at this, dude, because I don't think I would ever thought of that. But I also have never, I mean, I've ran big matches, but nothing like this, not at this scale, right? Where I'm running 10 stages of 10 bays and all of the things that you had to do. This is a massive scale of a match, right? Like I know a lot of people don't realize that, but because they probably have never done it, but I mean, just imagine trying to run a giant picnic or, and getting all the family, a family reunion, whatever it is. It's all the same shit. It's just being organized or unorganized. And the things that you don't pay attention to, they always come bite you in the ass. And this, when you have paying customers, because that's what we have is paying customers coming to the match. You don't do that stuff. They pay the price, not you, right? They pay the price because their match is going to suffer. It's not going to be as much fun. There's going to be delays, whatever it is. So it ruins the experience for those people that are paying hard-earned money to come to the match. And it sucks when that happens. You don't want that as a match director or somebody who's involved with that match. You take a lot of pride in this, and you have to because the rewards just aren't that great. Not gonna lie. Yeah, there's no money in this at all. So it's just, you have to do this because you love it. Yeah, I'm getting more and more excited as we get closer, and I'm going to be more and more miserable as I start actually working. I know because it's just a lot of work, man. It's a ton of work, but we love it, right? Or we wouldn't be doing this. That's just all there is to it. It's so much fun to see the work that we've put in. And Todd even more than me because I came in and only had to do the vendor stuff, but it's been really cool to kind of see the match grow and really kind of build up and just have people messaging me or catching me at a match. I'm like, bro, I'm super excited to go. I'm like, you're coming from Ohio to come to South Carolina for that match? Like, that's freaking awesome. We got people coming from California, Texas. Like, I know quite a few people that are coming to this match that would never have come to this match without what it's become. And it's really cool. Just not because the match wasn't good. It's just because it's a South Carolina sectional match, right? It's not nationals. So it's, hopefully it's a national level match at this point. That was always the goal. It's pretty cool. Pretty neat. How's it feel,
I think
Todd?
they call that foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I think that's what that's called.
Yeah.
Yep.
How's it feel, Todd?
What? Right now I'm good until probably Saturday.
Yeah.
I've had no meltdowns unlike some people, so we're good.
Yeah. Can you, Tom, just imagine him at Spartanburg this weekend or next weekend. Just imagine how he's going to be.
Well,
I can't
by
wait.
the way, we need the list of stuff, Matt, that we got to get from Spartanburg.
I don't know what that is. I gave you the
You made the list.
There it is.
You made the list.
We need everything.
I want everybody to know that this is normal. Matt and I will get a text message or a phone call, or we'll be having a meeting about the match. And all of a sudden we go, this is the first time we heard about this. And Todd's like, no. I told you. What Todd means is he thought about telling us, but never actually told us.
That's the second thing in the last hour that I've never heard until
100%.
just now.
100%.
That I'm responsible for.
Yes, 100%. And get used to it, dude. You're lucky. You're not dealing with him directly with the vendor stuff that he created, and it's his match and all the things that he's done. It's how it works. So, but now I will say the other day I talked to Todd 6 times in 30 seconds, and it was nothing to do with Todd. I would call him, we would talk, and I would hang up, and I go, shit. I would call him, I would tell him what I forgot, and then I would go, shit. And I'll call him and tell him what I forgot. And it was the worst day ever for South Carolina Sectional for me. I had just so many things going on. Like I had every sponsor you could imagine trying to get ammo, placement, all this crazy stuff. It was a great day. I got a lot done, but not what I was supposed to be doing for that day. So it was just, there's just so much organizational stuff with this as you start to grow the match. So like Todd said this once before, I think it was on our last podcast we did about the match. And I said, dude, I don't care about the match. We've done that 100 times. Like that's the easy part. Like it's the stuff that I've never been able to do, like 16 vendors and 3 side matches. Like, okay, those are all new things that I have to add to my list now. So I'm like, those are what make me nervous. Not the stage shit's easy. Don't break it. Keep it fixed. It's got to be for everybody else, and we're going to make it awesome just because we're not going to let it be a sucky stage. Those are easy. We know those are super simple. It's the stuff that I've never had a chance to or put my hands on that I'm kind of worried about. Do the vendors not show up? All the prizes not coming in, banners. That's always an adventure, is trying to get all the stuff from the vendors because they're not used to this. They're not used to being promoted like I want to promote them, right? I want them to send me 10 banners, 1 or 2 for the stage, and everything else is getting spread around the match so everybody can see their product, their gear or whatever it is. I want it spread around everywhere. I don't think a lot of vendors get asked that. And that's something I'm learning is I have to educate the vendors on what I want so that I can promote them better. And I think that's something that we're missing a lot in our sport right now is the vendors they don't have to do it. They're just like, cool, I'll send you some certs. Like, yeah, but I want to, like, just getting a PNG file, guys. Holy shit. Like just getting their logo is so frustrating. Not because it's just because nobody ever cares about it. I guess I want it. I want to promote. I don't want to put a crappy screenshot of your company out. I hate that. I want to put your real logo. Everything needs to go out in high quality. If it's not, I feel like I'm not giving you your value, right? It bugs me. I can't stand it that we have that mindset and we need to fix it. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to help do the vendor area. It's a big deal to me. All right, here we go. Shoot off. Let's talk about the vendor area events so we can get that over with and then we'll move on. So the vendor area is going to have, well, I guess I'll talk about it right now. I got 16 vendors coming to the stage. Well, I think it's 16. So I have Target USA. They will be sponsoring the warm-up area. I have Dan Cresp and Todd Holmes. Todd will not be there at all for you to talk to about anything he does for a living or why he's sponsoring the match. But if you see him, chase him down and tell him that the match is completely unorganized and Tom and Matt saved the day. No, I'm just kidding. So make sure you guys thank Todd and Matt when you see them, because these guys are giant parts of this match. And if you love it, definitely thank them. If you hate it, definitely let Todd know, because he likes that. Do it right before. Oh, you already have shot the match, so never mind. So it's really cool to have them. Dan does what? Mortgages?
Yeah, he's a mortgage broker that I partner with a lot. So
Awesome.
He's actually done it for some of the staff and shooters in the area too. So it's pretty awesome.
That's cool. That's really cool. And I love that the fact that that you guys, neither one of you guys are in the 2A industry, but support the match, right? Obviously you better support the match. It's yours, Todd. You better not screw that up. Do we have Zero Sports, which is our sponsor for all of our jerseys, my personal sponsor for my jerseys. I love their stuff. If you have never tried one of their jerseys, I highly recommend it. They have started coming out with hooded jerseys. It was something that I was actually asking Under Armour for. One shirt, please, for me. And they started doing it, and it was phenomenal because I started using them in practice and in my classes, and it really saves me from having to, get baked while I'm standing there behind everybody. So it's been really great. Da Vinci is back, baby. So so everybody these are all guys or people that are coming to the actual vendor area, you'll be able to put your hands on and see their products. And if they have a gun, you'll be able to shoot their gun. It's one of the coolest things about what we're doing this year, or last year as well, was we have a live fire area. So you guys will be able to try everything that they have, and really, really get a chance to, try it before you buy it, which is always nice, instead of buying something and going, I don't like this as much as I thought I did. Let's see. I'm going to save them till the end because I want to talk about something they do. Mark 7 is coming. They're actually going to be on site with their presses. I'm super excited. Another sponsor of mine. Love those guys. I have 2 of their presses now. Been using it for 5 years, almost. I mean, hell, way before I ever got sponsored by them, I've been running that press, and I think one of my presses has close to 500,000 rounds on it. That's how long I've been shooting that thing, or using it. I love it. Let's see. Excalibur will be there. They will have a lot of giveaways. They are not doing a side match per se, but they are doing some really, really cool giveaways on stages that you might want to try and win those stages however all. It might be rewarding to try very, very hard on some stages. Just saying. Masterpiece Arms will be there. They are our title sponsor, which this is 2 years in a row, baby. I'm super excited to have them back. They actually took the main sponsorship for our match. That's how much they believed in what we were doing, which was really cool. And they will be there with their firearms as well, there for you to try them. I do not recommend that you try the IDPA ported 2011. I don't recommend you try that because it's not limited optics legal. So I don't think you should try that because it doesn't shoot super flat at all. Like it's not something you're going to want to buy at all. Like wink, wink. It's ridiculous. Like I thought I was going to shoot that in a match and I realized it's not legal for USPSA. It's a pretty solid gun. I really enjoyed shooting that. So he kept trying to tell me, try this. I'm like, dude, I don't want to try it. I'm not going to use it. Like, I'm not going to go start shooting IDPA with a ported 2011 under my vest. I just, I thought I was a little bit of cheating there, but it was pretty cool. That gun's pretty awesome.
You want to start coaching IDPA, so might as well get it.
I really do want to. Actually, I really enjoyed, I met a couple of IDPA people in my class, and I really had fun talking trash to them about how awesome USPSA versus theirs. And you know what's funny is they were a great group of people, and I actually asked them just kind of because I wasn't sure if it would work. And they said that my class was perfect. Like it would absolutely all transfer over. I was like, wow, I didn't think it would, you know, because we just have a different style. But I guess the way I teach it or the way my thought process is to always attack with the gun and gun first, be ready soon. But as you come in, really does make a big difference on those because especially IDPA, it's all entries and exits, right? It's all entries and exits on that sport. There's not a whole lot of moving and shooting, but it's all about getting your gun up, attacking the position, understanding how to get your gun calm before you get there. So it does make a lot of sense that it was working for them. Masterpiece Arms. Okay, so Action Brass will be there. They will be there for your brass needs. They will have all kinds of stuff for you guys to buy. Hopefully these guys have stocked up since we've just added some folks off the list of the wait list, which we're going to talk about because it didn't really help at all. Let's see who else. Okay, we're going to have Premier will be there, taking care of all your hearing protection needs. They were there last year. Another return sponsor. Love that these guys are coming back. That's I guess it's a testament to Todd for allowing me to do this for the first year. Let's see. Alien will be there, baby. Lago Arms will have their limited optics Alien, and I'm assuming they'll have their original Alien for you to try because it is a pretty amazing gun. The first one was, but the new one is pretty badass. I really enjoy that gun. It's been pretty awesome. Let's see who else is going to be there. Taurus is going to be there. So I waited and kind of held on to these for a second. Taurus will be there. They are going to be doing a side match. That's a surprise side match. I'm even going to be surprised on what he's going to do there. So we're going to set it up when he gets there. I've talked to Caleb a couple of times, but I'm just like, dude, whatever you want to do, right? Like I'm going to let him do what he's going to do. So you'll be shooting Tauruses. I'm super excited about that because that's a brand new sponsor for us and not usually somebody that I see sponsor USPSA. So I'm super excited that we're actually getting outside of our comfort zone in our sport and trying to bring in some of these sponsors that I feel like actually have a good, foothold in our sport that, might not be a main sponsor that a lot of people talk about. Okay, so this one's going to be kind of weird because it's a lot of names, but I'm excited about these guys. Well, actually, let me finish with this. I'll start with this one first before I go to the side match. Hunters HC Gold will be back. Brian, I'll just say right now, I want to thank Brian for coming back because I really, really had to talk Brian into this because Brian's goal is to never go to the same match 2 years in a row, which is probably a smart business decision. If you've already been there and you've seen everybody that goes there, it is kind of dumb to keep going back to the same match unless you have a good reason. And I feel like we talked about it and he was like, man, I love what you're doing. I like what you're going to do. I'm coming back. And it was really, really cool to have him come back and support the match because he was one of my first sponsors that I got to come to last year's match that was outside of the box because he didn't come the year before, but he was there the year before that. So To get him to come back 2 years in a row was amazing. He really does understand like the vision that I have. We've had quite a few conversations about how to do what I want to do. And I feel like we're on the right path, and he's one of our biggest sponsors in this sport. So it's really cool to get him to come back twice in 2 years. I hope to get him 3 years in a row if I don't freaking quit by the time we're done with this shit. So, all right. So this one's our last side match. I basically brought all of my personal sponsors on for this one side match because I believe in their equipment so much. I really, really love the equipment I use. And if you haven't noticed, I'm not much of a shill. Like, I will not sell something or recommend something if I don't use it personally. Some of this stuff I don't get paid for. I just use the equipment and I talk about it a lot. But this side match is something I'm the most proud of because I was able to take a lot of my personal sponsors that I appreciate and love and use and give you guys all an opportunity to try them and use them. So the last side match will be something that I use in my personal classes that I teach. It's called the visual focus drill. And you will be using a Henning hanger on every one of my holsters that I brought, or on every one of the belts. I am also bringing in dominant defense for this drill, so you will get a chance to try my belt. He is sending me 3 or 4 different size belts, so every single person will get to try that belt. I am also bringing in the carnivore holster. So this is something that I just started using that I absolutely love. I beat it up for 2 months before I even told anybody else I had switched holsters or tried this holster, because I didn't want anybody to dislike it. I wanted to make sure that I liked it. So I am bringing in 2 or 3 holsters from them for everybody to try. I'm bringing a Glock, Shadow 2, Canic. I'm trying to get an Alien holster from them. That's something that's on the list that's questionable. And I'm going to call Masterpiece Arms. They don't even know I'm calling them, but I'm going to see if they have one of them because I know they made a special Masterpiece Arms 2011 like branded holster. And I have already had 2 of my buddies buy the 2011 holster that is designed off that, and they love it. I mean, it's butter. So I'm not a huge fan of race holsters, so I'm really excited that they built those for the 2011s because I personally hate race holsters. And they're just one of the best products I've used in a long time. So I've been trying to like tell everybody about it, use it. It's great, whatever. Okay, my last one. And this one's important to me because of the relationship that he has with us in this match. Brian from Make Stuff Better. So I wanted to do something different this year in this match because I wanted to do better trophies. I am very frustrated with our trophy scenario or situation in this sport. This has nothing to do with the trophy makers. It's just a financial thing that we all have to make as a match, right? So I wanted to make something that was unique to our match, that had something to do about South Carolina, that looked like a South Carolina trophy, that wasn't your standard plaque. I hate plaques. And the reason why I hate plaques is because every match, level 1, level 2, level 3, you get the same damn trophy. Like I literally won Area 6 one year and I was like, oh, cool. It's the same trophy I got from the level 2 state match. Awesome. And I was like, well, I was happy I won, and I don't do this for trophies, but there's a lot of people that do this for trophies. Their aspirations are never to be a professional shooter. They never care about winning the biggest match of the world. They just want to win their match and get a nice trophy so they have something to show for all their hard work. So I wanted to change that. Well, I was able to partner up with Brian, and we were able to, he came up with 99% of the design, like almost exactly what I described to him. He crushed it. And then I did a little tweaks, few things here and there. And then he came back and gave me a price. Todd was like, dude, that's double your budget. And I was like, yeah, but the trophies are better. So Brian came back, and this is why I appreciate, this is one of the big things for me was also, and it was very important to Todd and I, that we use Brian for our trophies. Right. And obviously you have to have a good relationship. You have to trust the guy to do a good job because trophies, you could screw that up. But we wanted to use Brian because he supported our match. Like, he didn't have to come and sponsor our match. He didn't have to come and get a tent and do what he did. But we love Brian. We love everything about what they stand for. And we wanted them to I wanted them, and Todd and I were both like, dude, we got to try to get Brian the contract for this so he can do our trophies. And he sent me a sample trophy, and it was nowhere near finished, but he got it together so I could see it. And dude, I'm super, super excited. So it's going to, I will tell you this. It is not a Nationals medal trophy because we ain't spending $300-400 on a trophy, but it is a very awesome trophy. It's something you've probably never seen before. It's something different. And I snuck a little surprise in there for Todd. So he doesn't know about it, but it'll be on every trophy, and I'm super excited about it. So.
I guess I need to talk to Brian real quick.
No, you he already knows it ain't coming out. He already knows. We've already had a talk. It's not happening. You're not going to see it. So it's pretty awesome. But dude, I guess, you know, again, one of the best parts of this match is we get to have fun doing it, right? Like, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of stress, but we really do get to mess around and have a good time. And you know, we all talk a lot of shit to each other and give each other a hard time. And I've threatened to quit like 27 times, which I never will. It's just, it's fun, right? Like, it's, the whole thing is this is why you have to have a great crew, though. Because if you really didn't like each other, you would literally quit. You would quit and murder each other. Like, it's that stressful. Like, I don't think people realize, because if you care enough, it's stressful, right? Because you want to put out an amazing product. And if you don't, you take it personally. I do. I absolutely take this shit so personal. Like, if I screw something up, like, I built a stage for Miami Open and I didn't get a chance to walk it one last time. Like, as a shooter, I only walked it as like a stage builder. And there was a spot where if you picked up your gun, you could shoot 16 shots in one spot. I talked about that more than I did the entire match of me shooting. I was so pissed that I missed that. It ruined the entire stage. It ruined the entire stage. I was so mad at myself. I was like, dude, all that work you put in and you sucked at it. It just ruined the whole stage. It was just so frustrating and irritating to me. I just hated it. So I was just like, I take a lot of pride in this stuff, right? And you guys, I love partnering with you guys because you take the same amount of effort or pride in the same thing that I do. So it's not hard to work with you guys at all. I guess work for you, since I'm just a worker for Todd. So, but okay, so Taurus is done. Focus drill. Sorry guys, I don't usually go off a list, but we have to on this. All right. So last thing that we haven't talked about with the vendor era is the shoot off. So in the shoot off, we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. See, this is how bad I have to write it down and count it. We're going to have 4 shoot offs. So the shoot offs are going to be different than your normal shoot off. They are going to be a Friday staff shoot off. So everybody in staff will have a chance to do the shoot off. It will be for a raffle. So you will pay $10 to get into the raffle, and you get an extra ticket for the gun. Yes, Todd?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, it's the raffle is the shoot off raffle gun is only for that.
Okay, so it is separate.
Yep.
Okay, so you have to pay for the raffle to get into that. Okay, good. That's what I remember. But like I said, I've called him 6 times in 30 seconds. So I just want to make sure we're right. All right. So you will pay $10 for that, and it will put you into a raffle for the gun. You do not have to shoot for the raffle. If you want to pay your $10, you can get a ticket. You do not have to go into the shoot off. I highly recommend you do it. It's really fun, even if you get your butt kicked. And I will tell you what, I have had many people kick my ass at a shoot off because I missed. I didn't reload properly. That's what's so cool about it, is you can beat anyone in the whole sport. Doesn't matter how good or how bad you are. You can win in a shoot off because it's all it takes is one good run and you got them.
and I can sit here and brag about beating you forever.
You did. You beat me. You know what? He loaded my mags for me and he put a round in, and that's how he made me. He jammed my gun up. So no, I'm just kidding. Dude, he beat me. I had a jam and he got me. That's all. I was no excuse. I had a jam and he took advantage of it and shot everything 1 for 1. He smoked me like it wasn't even close. So yeah, dude, that's the best part of the shoot off though. Doesn't matter how good you are. That's just the way it works. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a staff shoot off, a Saturday AM shoot off. So if you shot in the morning on Saturday, stick around and you will get an opportunity to do the shoot off in the AM. So you don't have to wait for the afternoon or the end of the match. You'll get to do it every single session. So if you're a Saturday session AM, you get to shoot Saturday afternoon after you're done. Saturday PM, you'll have one. Sunday AM or Sunday PM, you'll have one. So how that's going to work is you will also, I guess I haven't talked about the cards. We'll talk about that in a second, but that's how that's going to work. And you will be put into the vendor, into the raffle drawing for that, whether you participate or not, but you still have to, buy into the thing. Okay. So the tourist drill, I don't know how we're going to do.
Oh, you're forgetting part of the shootout. Like the
you're
payout.
Talking about, yeah. We're hold on. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. What's the payout?
Okay. So not only do you get entered in for the raffle, the winner gets 25% of the pot for it. And there's a random raffle for 25% of the pot for the shootout too. So you could get cash back. You can win the gun. There's all sorts of different ways you can win besides just beating Tom.
I don't even know if am I even in the list to shoot against?
Oh, you forgot about the grudge part too.
No, I didn't.
So when the shootout's not going on, and if you see Tom in the vendor area, you can go up and challenge him. If you beat him, it's going to cost you $10. But if you beat him, that raffle ticket is free for you to get into it. It's a free entry. So everybody try to beat Tom.
Thank God Outdoor Dynamics is sending me lots of extra ammo for this. So maybe nobody will challenge me. That'd be fine with me. So also, if I'm not in the vendor area, just come find me if you really want to. I'm fine with it. I don't mind shooting against anybody. I enjoy it. It's fun. But if I'm not, just come grab me, ask me, tell me to come over there. Tell them to call me on the radio. I'm sure I'll have one this year. And I'll come over. I actually have a golf cart this year. I guess I am kind of a big deal now. Finally, I get a golf cart. But yeah, if you guys seriously, if you need me, just call me and I'll come over and shoot against you. I'm fine with it. I'm excited to do it. But yeah, I mean, this is one of the best parts of the match to me is the shoot off, because I've done a couple of them and it brings the camaraderie back from what we're missing since COVID. Like, I feel like that's what we've been missing the most in our sport, is that we've lost the camaraderie, bringing everyone together and kind of hanging out and getting to talk trash to your friends and all that stuff. We've just lost a lot of that. And this shoot off and the vendor area is going to bring everybody back in. So I'm excited about that. I mean, I can't wait till this. I'm honestly I'm not looking forward to packing for this trip, by the way. I have so much shit to bring. Since I did bring it up, I am going to be bringing I'll be bringing my podcast with me. So if you're interested in a podcast, I will absolutely try to bring you onto those and try to get you guys to talk a little bit. I will be walking around doing tons of video for you guys. I plan on doing a ton of promotional stuff for this sport at this match. I plan on talking to all of our vendors. I also plan on interviewing some of you. So you better get looking good, boys and girls. Get your hair did, get your makeup, tap your nose with a little bit of powder, because I plan on coming up to you after I watch you shoot and I like your run. We're going to have a little conversation with you. So I'm excited to do some of this stuff that I feel like we're missing at some of these matches. I think we need to start telling stories about our sport. It's what we miss the most, I think, is this sport isn't just a bunch of people that go out and shoot guns. Everybody has a story. There's doctors, there's everything in this sport. We got people, freaking realtors. I was a contractor. I mean, there's so many levels of participation in this sport. And I feel like that's what we miss the most, is the story of what makes this sport so amazing. The volunteers, holy shit. Can we talk about the volunteers alone? Like, that in itself, like just getting 60 or 70 people to sacrifice a weekend for us for Todd is amazing, right? Like the fact that you have 60, 70 people willing to come and help you reset over and over and over again. Make sure you say thank you to them. It's amazing.
It's 80, by the way.
80. Perfect. That's awesome. 80 people now. So, I mean, that's the thing, is like, it's a big deal. That's a lot of stuff going on in the match, and you have to have that help. And if you don't, it doesn't go very smoothly. That's for sure. Okay. So let's talk about the last thing about the vendor area, because it's all going to be kind of packed in there. So I don't really want to get too crazy on the vendor area stuff when it comes to the drills and all that stuff, because that stuff I already talked about. All of registration, and this is important, all of registration will be in the vendor area. So you will come into the vendor area only one way. You can only enter one way and exit one way. So you're going to have to go through the vendor area to get to registration. There will be no more golf carts going through registration. You will be walking down the little hill. If we have some handicapped people, we'll get that taken care of, but you will not be walking around registration. Everything goes through the vendor area, in and out. You have to go in, you have to go out. So here's the thing with registration. And this is something that I learned, a very valuable lesson from last year doing this. All right. You will not, I guess I'll start with, you will have a card for yourself. For every individual shooter will have a card that you will have with you. And what you will do with that card to get into a higher raffle bracket, all right, or a prize package, is you will each have your own individual card with your USPSA number. I think is how we're going to do it. So you each have your own card, and you will go to each vendor and they will have a special stamp or hole punch with each individual sponsor. You have to go to every sponsor and get that card punched from that sponsor to go into a higher raffle for your gun, to get guns. Basically, that's what we're doing. We're saving all the guns for the people that put the effort in towards those sponsors. Now, you do not have to buy anything. There's no reason to buy anything unless you want to. I highly recommend it. There's some really cool shit at this match. The big thing about the vendor area is you go to each individual sponsor, say hello. Hell, you don't even have to talk to them if you don't want. It's totally up to you. I recommend it. These guys are awesome, but you can go up and say, hey, can I get a hole punch, and then move on if you want. But thanks to Matt and his amazing scheduling, we are going to give you a full 45 minutes in that shooters area, in that vendor area, to get those stamps done. Now, the way I set this up this year is going to be different. You are not going to be able to turn that gun in or that card in until you are done with your session. So if you're Saturday AM, you cannot turn the card in until the second session starts. The same thing's going to happen for PM. Everybody's going to be done, or when you're done, you can come in. You cannot turn it in during your session there. You have to come back and turn it back in. I'm not going to tell you why I'm doing that, but you should have figured it out by now. You're coming back to see my vendors. The last thing that we're going to do with the cards is all of those cards go into the raffle, and then you get random drawing, so on and so forth, that you'll get a chance to win guns and so on and so forth. I'm going to tell you, this year, we're pretty stacked for firearms. I forgot to actually start counting them. That's how bad I think it is right now. I think we're doing pretty good on guns this year. The vendor area, also trophies will be mailed out to you. They will be personalized for you guys that are lucky enough to win. And as of now, which I'm pretty sure, we're going to do 3 sizes. So there will no longer be the guy who wins high overall is getting the same small trophy for the dude who gets third. That is one of the most frustrating things for me in this sport, is to give me a trophy this big and I won high overall in the match. I think it's just totally disrespectful for somebody who busts his ass to try to win the top spot in any division, and then you give him a bullshit trophy like that, like the same size that the guy who got 15th got, like this participation trophy thing. It irritates me. So you will have a small, medium, and large, I think, or we're going to have a large, 2 smalls, or 2, whatever, however we do it. We haven't figured I think we're going to do small, medium, large.
Medium, large.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks to Brian, by the way, because that takes a lot more work. It takes way more effort than just making one small trophy, which is why you guys keep getting small trophies, because we're not putting the effort in towards the paying customer. Okay. So that's done. The cards will be turned in when your session is done. I'm missing something, dude. I can't remember what it is now. We got, the awards are going to be sent out to you. They will be personalized for you after the match. So obviously, but we will be putting up trophies for you to see at the registration area. Okay. Now, prizes. Since we have so many people shooting this and so many prizes, we decided to make this easier for everyone, and especially us, because this was really not easy last year. So what we're doing this year is every session, Saturday AM, Saturday AM, Saturday PM, Sunday AM, will all have their own prize tables. So you will have a random drawing, and everybody will pick from the table, or their random drawing for that prize will be done after you're done shooting. You will not have to wait to find your prize. You will not have to wait to chase somebody down. The only thing that will change is the firearms. Those will not be the ones with the cards where you have to get hole punches. Those will not be drawn until the match is over. Everybody has to shoot. Everybody gets a chance to turn their card in. And then everybody's in that drawing that put the effort forth to go see the vendors and say hello and get their stamps. Did I miss anything with that, guys? Are we good on that? Did I nail it?
There's a staff table too. You missed that, but yeah.
I was going to ask you that actually because I didn't know that answer.
If there's a separate staff prize table and then one for each session, and then everybody gets a shot at the serialized items.
Yes. Wait, with the card.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So what he means by that is staff will, when they get their cards done, will have a chance to do the same exact thing, turn them in, and then they'll have a chance at the serialized items. So like, which basically just firearms. So, I think that's it for the prizes, all that stuff, trophies. Anything else that I'm missing?
Not that I can think of.
So obviously, guys, this will be in the match book. I just figured it'd be easier to kind of talk about it here. And I didn't have any of that on my list. That just all kind of came out of nowhere. That's probably why I kept thinking, did I forget something?
It'll be the food's the same vendors as last year, the barbecue, and we'll have ice cream on site again.
All right. And they will be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Correct.
Okay. So we will have ice cream there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Also, we will have a section of tents like I did last year for food. So where when you get your food, you'll be able to go sit in the shade and kind of take a break and do your thing like that. So we'll be able to do that. But I did talk about 45 minutes for the vendor area. It will be Todd, can we talk about what time are we opening up the gates and what time are we closing? Do we have that yet? I'll give you a minute to look it up if you need to. Let's see. Range access, we already talked about. Build schedule for South Carolina is done. If you feel like volunteering to come help, we will be there from, I will definitely put that out there. I'm not going to say no to any help. That will be out. We will be there building on the 17th through the 21st. Sorry, the 20th. Because the 21st, and actually I will talk about this because this is a unique thing that these guys do at South Carolina, is there will be a pre-staff day match. So what that means is all of the admins, not me, I won't ever do that again. I would just not shoot. On Thursday are going to pre-shoot the match so that they can work out any bugs. So they'll have a couple of us will be there. I'm sure I'll be there to kind of make sure if anything goes wrong, we can fix it really quick, get it done so that it's bulletproof for the rest of the staff so that the staff isn't trying to rebuild stages, rebuild stuff. It's nothing worse than already sacrificing what most people think is a disadvantage is shooting staff and then having to basically rebuild the match and then shoot as staff. So we're Todd and them have really done a good job by basically breaking everything on Thursday so that Friday the staff gets to just shoot and not be stage builders. I think it's a giant change in attitude and mindset for the staff. I know last year I paid the price badly on shooting on that Thursday. We missed a lot. I think after 7 days of getting there at 6 in the morning and leaving at 8 at night, you tend to forget some stuff or miss some stuff. So I think that staff day, even though I paid for it because I shot on that day, I feel like Friday ran almost flawlessly. I don't remember having any issues on Friday. Did we?
Nope.
I didn't see any issues on Friday. No.
Trust me. That all happened on Thursday.
Yeah, that's what we do it for.
Dude. But it was an awesome thing because it really, really made a giant difference on staff. So not having to force them to do the things that we would have done on Thursday. Cause there was a lot of missed stuff that just, we just weren't thinking about it. Like, why would this guy just hang out of this, like try to lean around this barrel and shoot one-handed, and people would do stupid shit like that. So we were like, oh, okay, that's a shoot through. And it made a huge difference because we were able to fix all of that. I don't think we have anything else for the match as of that. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about real quick about that before we move on to the next subject?
Not really. Range access Thursday from 12 to 5 for staff. Well, anybody really, but it's primarily for staff. Friday 9 to 5, Saturday 6:15 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sunday 6:15 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're gonna send Matt over to open up the gates on Saturday and Sunday for us.
That's awesome. That's
I've
awesome.
already pre-warned you. I'm not a morning person.
Why do you think I said that?
I had one more thing about the Dude, this on my brain is fried. I'm so done with South Carolina. Like I can't stop. It's like just absolutely consumed my life at this point because we're getting so close and it's gotten worse and worse and worse as it's gotten closer. It's like all the pressure just boom, 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 boom. And it's like, okay, don't forget to do this. Don't forget. I'm not trying to add more things, but I'm trying to clean things up so we don't have any issues when we get there because there is so much stuff like we just had a conversation before I started the video of, hey, how much extra steel do we have for this shoot off? And we're like, oh, let's get a count of it, right? So no extra steel like this. We've got just enough. So it's like, as you go through this, you start to realize like, what if we get super busy? Okay, I want 2 shoot off areas so I can run 4 shooters at the same time. Like these guys go and then they stop, then these guys go. That way you can, double it up and make everything faster. Because if you don't, then we have issues, right? So it's trying to keep everything on pace. I don't want people to have to stay a long time unless they want to. Last thing about the match when it comes to the vendor area, and this is in the match in general, I highly recommend that you bring 1,000 rounds, if not more. Because if you start doing the side stuff, the vendor area stuff, there's no cost for the side matches other than the shoot off. So if you want to shoot and you want to try to go win something, because there's going to be some raffles and some random prizes that I'm planning on giving out for some of those things, I highly recommend you bring a lot of rounds. Don't come to this match with your average 300-400 rounds because you're going to be very upset. Or you can buy some ammo, maybe at the match, but yeah, I would highly recommend that you bring ammo because you're going to need it for this bad boy.
What's the round count for the match, Matt? I forget.
1,000 rounds.
I have no clue. I have no idea.
Dude,
I know you did it,
1,000
but I
rounds.
don't even remember.
I think it's
Come on, let me
350
look.
rounds.
No, it's not that much. I went close, like within 30 rounds of the limit one year. We're not doing that.
272.
Okay.
I told you. Close. No, I wasn't close. By the way, how many shooters do we have on the wait list right now? I forgot to talk about that. Yeah, look at this.
I think we got it down to 40, which is, yeah.
Dude, so Todd opened up a bunch of spots to help try to relieve that. He goes, yeah, dude, I opened up a bunch of spots. Like I added an extra person to each stage just so we could try to get some of these off. And I go, cool. What's the wait list? And he goes, it didn't go anywhere. It's still the same freaking 40 people on the list. I go, oh yeah. So they just kept jumping on there. Like, so that means we had more the last time.
50 something down to 43 is what we have on the wait list right now.
That is that is so cool.
Yep. We allowed a few people that we know will do good to shoot on Friday with the staff.
Yeah.
And then we added 1 person to each squad on Sunday, and it's still, that's the max I can do for the match and still have it run. So
yeah. So let's talk real quick why we don't run a Sunday PM session.
Teardown?
Wait. Is it so we can all be friends after the match? Because I feel like that's the main reason.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it. So yeah,
Sunday PM is brutal because you've now that's like you're fully into 8-10 days of just murder, just complete murdering yourself. Like you're on the range so like seriously, like last year, Todd and I stayed at Todd's house, and every single day we left his house at 6 o'clock. Got ice for every single day, and then we didn't leave till dark, so 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then we had to pretend to have energy to go eat and then get home at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, because Belton unfortunately is nowhere near anything at that where we wanted to go or where that was open. Get home 9, 10 o'clock at night and start all over again. It is a wild ride, but it is fun. Like we enjoy it, but it's still a lot of work, so it's a ton of work. Okay, so I think that's everything with South Carolina. No, we got more. Go.
No, sir. So for all the stuff that we've been talking about, there's additional raffles. Oh, so $500 raffle for setup for everybody that helps and participates. Matt Hopkins is taking the names for me. for the setup. See, something new he just learned.
Did you
That's
just
three.
figure
I
out?
know, right? Yes.
Don't worry, dude. We got another week before you're actually going to be there building. I
Yep.
think 10 things. I'm going for 10 before we leave.
No, he's got one more coming in like 30
There
seconds.
it
So.
is.
I figured I knew about that one.
Okay.
What's
So,
number
and
4?
then
What's
on
number 4? I want to know.
and then staff, anybody that stays all 3 days is entered into the raffle for $500 also. And then the teardown crew, this is the one Matt already knew about. He's taking the names. Anybody that stays till the end of teardown is entered into the raffle for $500. And by the end of teardown, we mean we're up by the main clubhouse. Everybody's gathering and leaving. Connexes locked. The last nails in. Chris Holiday and Tyler Meisenheimer have been threatened with their lives if they leave the Connexes. I mean, Chris Holiday even went out and took pictures today of the Connexes.
So I'll tell the story real quick. Last year,
Dude,
it was a shit show.
it was a
like,
complete nightmare.
It was a
Yeah.
shit show. Like,
I had
it's
staff
not-
yelling at me because they had to get on the road. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I
Yeah.
mean, we're just
Yeah.
gonna sleep here also, right?
Yeah, it
We
was a
all have
shit
to get
show.
on the road.
Like, we had 10 guys that stayed. Thank God we had the 10 that we had, but it was an absolute shit show. Everything got thrown to the edge of the base. And then we had to, after everybody left, we had to go all the way up and pick it up and take it back. And it, the shit show began after everything was actually put away because it never actually got back to its spot. So Todd had for the next week, had to sacrifice another week of his work and had to try to go in and reorganize it. It was, and I had to leave. So I stayed for one extra day. And I think we had breakfast, dude. And you're like, okay. I was like, dude, I've got to go home or I'd stay here. He's like, no, go ahead and go. I was like, I barely made it home. I was so tired. I was like, dude, I'm literally energy drink all the way home. Cause I 9-10 hours, but a week of no pay, 10 days of no pay. I'm like, dude, I got to go. Like, I still was working construction at the time.
Yep.
So it was, it's again, you better do this and you better love the people you do this with, or you're going to kill each other.
Yep. And Donovan came back and helped me that Monday too, because I was still injured at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's, you know what? That is going to be a massive help this year is that you're not hurt. Like, that was a big loss because you do a lot, like when it comes to just organization, like getting the stuff out there, running that stuff. This year, Wi-Fi is better. You're not dealing with that like you were last year. That was a big time consumer for you. So that's super excited. We'll have live scoring this year. This match has definitely gotten, honestly, dude, I think we've improved 100% from last year, which I never thought we could say that, because we crushed it last year. I thought you did awesome last year. So the fact that we've added all this extra shit and I still feel like, wow, we're pretty organized. Like, I don't feel like there's a bunch of turmoil with all the extra stuff we've added. I'm like excited that I'm like, wow, we're crushing it. Let's just hope it actually happens at the end of the match like that.
And then Visit Anderson coming on with doing the staff dinner for everybody. That's huge. Within literally, I think it's within 100 feet of the staff hotel. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and staff dinner will be at 7:00. I'll just add that, even though everybody's going to know that. But we're going to do staff dinner on Friday, so that's a big thing that we did this year that Todd was able to make happen this year. Was we got Visit Anderson to help us out with staff dinner, which we weren't able to provide last year. Again, every single thing that goes into a match has a financial cost. So it's like when you start finding people like Visit Anderson and you start reaching outside of those two-way community sponsors, it's pretty cool when you can find them that, they understand what our vision is to grow outside of the shooting community. And it was pretty neat that they helped us out. I mean, they're doing all the staff. They gave us deals on hotels, found us able to connect with hotels for us and everything. So it's really neat how much everything's grown. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this real quick for the sponsors. Just some of them aren't going to be there, so I figured I would just talk about all of them so we could kind of just let everybody know how awesome our sponsors are. Make sure you tag them, talk to them, throw them an email, share one of their posts in your story. Don't be lazy, because we don't get these guys to come back if we're lazy. Okay, so A&P Restaurant is actually a returning sponsor, which they don't give a whole lot, but I don't care. What's cool is they always give primers. And they gave primers last year when we were still having a hard time getting primers, or when we were getting $100 primer bullshit. So it was really cool that they donated that for us. Just make sure you guys check them out. They're a small little local restaurant, which actually is pretty neat because we tend to eat at all of those when we're in South Carolina, at least when I'm in South Carolina. It's the only thing that's even close is or open is the local restaurants. Daniel, I talked about doing the mortgage broker. Henning, I talked about, I use them. They are amazing. He actually donated a ton of stuff to us this year, way more than I asked for. And it's pretty awesome. So what I did this year, instead of asking for like the mag pouches and all that stuff, because the problem with mag pouches for me is you're very gun specific. So if you're shooting a 2011, you would have to have a 2011 setup and instead of going through all that, I just had him send us a bunch of hangers. His hangers, in my opinion, are superior to anything else out on the market because it's so adjustable. So I've got a couple of T1000s, T800s, but I've got quite a bit for prize packages. Should be able to spread them out all over the place. So it's really, really cool that I was able to do that. Lock Grips is sponsoring the match. They are a returning sponsor from last year. This year, I actually have started talking to them a little bit about, they sent me some lock grips to kind of do some reviews on. If you want to try their grips out, I have my Walther that I put them on. I would like, if you want to try them, feel them. I don't know if I want you to shoot it, but if you want to try the grips, I have them on my gun. So I'll probably have that on me most of the match or around the match. Premier's coming back. Amazing company as always. Scott and his wife are awesome. I don't know if they're going to be there. I know the company will be there, but it might be his mom. So those poor kids can't run around and eat dirt all day. Man, I was really hoping they'd be there so they could harass Brian because he loves kids. Visit Anderson. Targets USA will be there. They are sponsoring the warm-up bay. They are also, there might be one or two props from them at this match. One of them you guys know all about, but there is a new butterfly swinger that he is bringing for us for this match. And that's something that's really cool to try out. I haven't had a chance to actually put my hands on it yet. Have you got that yet, Todd?
It's here. It's not assembled. He's going to assemble it. And
okay, cool.
I'm going to see, I know there's adjustments we can make on the Holy Monkey to make it present a different way. And I'm going to see if he can help us out with that too.
All right, cool. That'd be awesome. Let's see. So Action Brass will be there. They'll be bringing brass. Let's see. Da Vinci will be there again with theirs. I already talked about them. Hunter Constantine is sending a bunch of concealed carry belts. I actually am really excited to try one of those. I think I'm gonna like steal one for the prize package just to try it on and then put it back in the package. So hopefully it isn't like a really nice package because I really want to try it because I actually never even knew that was a thing. And then I was like, oh, that makes sense because wearing a regular belt sucks carrying a gun. So I was like, that actually makes sense. But so that was really cool. That was another outside of our normal sponsors, right? So it's really cool. Make stuff better. Obviously, I talked about they're gonna be our trophies, but they also are going to be doing lasering on site. So if you want to get your mags lasered and all that stuff, I highly recommend you get with him as soon as possible, maybe even pre-match, because I'm going to tell you now, he's going to be very busy because not only does he do amazing work, but everybody hits him up at the match because he'll do it on site. I know North Carolina, I talked to Todd about it. That guy was working. He even worked at home on some of the stuff after he left the range. And he barely finished what he was doing on site. That's how busy he was. So I highly recommend you guys get to him early. Pro Shot Products, which sponsors the podcast as well as me personally. So I love their stuff. I use all of their cleaning products. They have some of the best cleaning kits I've ever seen. And that is actually one of the things that they're donating to us for the prize package. They have amazing like 9mm kits. They gave us a bunch last year and we were able to give those out to staff, which was really cool because we gave it out to the staff that actually stuck around and helped. So that was kind of a nice little, I think that's kind of where some of the give somebody cash for sticking around thing came from is I think that little push that Todd actually thought that he was like, man, let's give it to the guys that stuck around. I was like, that's a great idea. So we were able to kind of reward those guys for helping out, but they also are going to have a lot of samples on the safe tables for you guys. So you can really check them out. And some of them you can take, please don't take all the bottles, let everybody get a sample, but those things didn't last very long. That's for sure. Everybody kept taking them. It was really cool watching each individual shooter kind of get some of those, and they make just great shit. Taurus will be there. They're doing their own side match. I'm super excited to have those guys in. Who's this? Holmes HTH. What is that crap? Oh, that's right. Todd Holmes on there now. So Todd Holmes is sponsoring the match. Todd, give him a quick infomercial what you do, brother.
Which match director, realtor is where I make my money, and then do a little bit of tech side stuff for business cards and some tech stuff for realtors that they use with their listings and with their buyers when they go out and see it, just to make the experience better for everybody.
So if you think Todd's organized in this, you should see him as a realtor. He's a maniac. The guy's got it all lined up. It's just boom, boom, boom. So if you guys are looking to buy a house in South Carolina, I highly recommend you reach out to Todd. He will definitely take care of you. I actually thought about moving to South Carolina. Then I realized I would have to deal with Todd and buy a house, and I didn't move. So it's no, no, but seriously, like if you're looking for a house, definitely check out Todd and Dan. Those guys work together well, and you'll be able to buy a piece of property. Actually, we have a couple of buddies that just bought a piece of property with you, huh? That was pretty cool.
Actually, Dan and I, for 3 of the guys that'll be on staff, did their house.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
that's cool. That's really cool. So, I mean, that's actually one of the coolest things is you guys actually have a personal relationship and are able to, you get to trust the person that like that, you know, it's pretty neat. So then if you beat their ass at the match, you can talk some trash while you're having them sign the house. That's cool. Let's see. So we got Belton Gun Club. That is a big thing that I usually kind of forget to talk about them, but that is a big opportunity for us to actually have a club to shoot at like that. And Belton's pretty amazing to deal with. They're ran mainly by shooters that are in USPSA or, you know, practical shooting in general. So it's pretty neat that you have a lot of people on the board that allow us to do this. This year, we got a chance to get to the range earlier. Last year was stressful because we didn't get bays until it was midweek when we didn't have any help. This year we were able to open up the schedule, and it's a big giant thank you to all the members of Belton, which I am one of. I'm a member of Belton. I actually pay for a membership there because I like that club so much. And when I come in, I want to be able to shoot and use the facility to do things. So it was really cool, the fact that this year everybody understood and kind of sacrificed a little bit of their, you know, couple of days of shooting they don't get to shoot. And we were able to reserve all those bays and get started earlier this year and bring in a better quality match. I think we'll be able to do here. Let's see. Dominant Defense, in my opinion, the best belts on the market. I have tried every Velcro belt, every strappy belt, every little linky belt. Like I just don't like any of them. This belt allows me to loosen the belt while I'm shooting, while I'm in classes. So it's really saved my hips. His inner belt is, to me, what separates his belts. He has a special inner belt that he's created, but all of the belts are made by hand, all hand stitched. There's no machining. There's no cool, we'll just make and that's why they never fall apart. I mean, I've been running this belt now for 2 years. I travel with it. I throw it on the ground. I wish I had it. You would actually look at how beat up it is. But it's amazing. It's one of the reasons why I brought them on to the match, because I want other people to actually try the belts and not just go, oh, cool, Tom shoots one, whatever. I want you to actually physically feel it. I actually dry fire without an inner belt. That's how good it is, because I can strap it down, and it actually allows me to dry fire. I am so lazy and busy that I don't even want to put my inner belt on. Like, I will not dry fire if I have to take and put belt loops. I just won't do it. I'm super lazy about it. So I don't know. I guess I'm terrible about that stuff. Mark 7 will be there with presses. Awesome. At the match, they're running a really cool deal right now, a big discount on the Apex 10. If you're interested, let them know. Check it out. If you do decide to buy one beforehand or whatever, let them know. Let me know. I have a code. I can get you guys a discount on presses. Let's see. I will be there with my podcast. I guess I forgot to talk about that earlier. I will have a podcast booth. If you guys want to go in there, take pictures, whatever you want to do, cool. We'll get in there and do some stuff and talk it up a little bit and kind of talk about what your experiences of South Carolina. I'm super excited to honestly hear what you guys think about the match. Todd, are we going to do a survey like we did last year?
Of course.
All right. So please, guys, please, I beg you to please do the survey. It makes a big difference. One of the reasons I expanded the vendor area this year was the feedback we got. The other thing is it allows me to talk Todd into things that he wouldn't have given me because of the vendor row feedback. If I don't have feedback to prove it's working, it's not easy to show, right? You have to have that stuff. And I think that's one of the best parts of what Todd does is he gets feedback for all types of the match. It's not just a vendor. He's talking about what do you think of the stages? What did you hate? All these different things. We want that feedback to make it better. And it's gotten better every single time that we looked at these, at all of the surveys. It makes a big difference for us. So we don't know without it. Also, if you come up to Todd and you complain about something, and then you put it on your survey, he knows who you are. So it's not unanimous anymore. Okay. So like Todd last year goes, yeah, man, there was a couple of on here that they didn't like this or this. And he goes, I go, oh, who was it? And he goes, oh, it was anonymous, but he goes, it's okay. Cause I remember who they were because they told me about it. I was like, that's so funny. It was one of the funniest things at the end of the match. I was like, oops. Zero Sports will be there on site for you guys to try their jerseys, check out their jerseys. They should have some hooded jerseys. I hope they have my jerseys that I'm waiting for. Ray, I'm waiting, just so you know. I'm excited for that. I ordered them not that long ago, so they're probably not going to be ready by the time, just giving them crap on the podcast. But they'll have some. Todd, do you know if they're going to bring extras this year? Do you know if that's on the plan?
I don't know if they are. I know they brought extras last year to sell,
Okay.
so they probably will.
All right, there'll probably be some extras, but maybe not. So if you didn't get a jersey, I highly recommend that. I actually think the South Carolina jersey is phenomenal this year. I really like it. Let's see what else we're gonna have. Let's see, Zero Sports, Brass Monkey Bullets, another personal sponsor, coming back again for another year. Love those guys. Love their bullets. They just have a brand new product that just came out. The new coating is amazing. I've been shooting it now for the last 2,000 rounds. Less smoke. Super smooth. I just think those guys are crushing it. Some of the best customer service in the world. Excalibur will be here. This is the first year they've sponsored us, and actually they're sponsoring Area 6 this year, aren't they?
Yeah, they're the title sponsors for Area 6.
They're making a big push this year for or trying to push pretty big into the sport. It's really cool to see them coming in. They will be there. They're also doing a side match kind of thing, which we'll talk about at the match. Probably won't even be until you at the match that they'll describe what it is. IWI is coming back, or coming into the match. Super excited about that. They are actually providing us with real, not certificates, but actual guns. They're going to be sending us guns this year instead of certificates. So we do some FFL stuff with that. Masterpiece Arms, our main sponsor, will be here this year. Lots of guns, lots of things to try. So I'm super cool about that. And they will be very close to everything's going to be pretty close to shoot at on this. So
Yep.
Billy Barton's coming, man, Mr. Spec Train. So I'm super, I'm excited to have those guys come in. They will be, he's going to actually offer a class as a prize. And I'm really excited about that because as a coach, I understand what it is to sacrifice slots to matches or to classes. There is a financial thing to going a class. So the fact that he was willing to put up a class for us, which was really cool, and support the match. So please make sure you also go follow that guy on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. He actually has some really good content. And he's one of the best damn scoop draw guys I've ever seen in my life. He has a very, really cool technique on how to draw the gun. He actually puts his finger on the back of the gun, which is super cool. I don't know how the hell he does a 50 and a 60 draw and not like blow the back of his thumb off with the slide. So it's really interesting to watch him do it. So it's really cool. I talked about Todd Holmes. He'll be there. Obviously, make sure you guys check him and say thank you. And if you guys are interested in buying a house, Zero Delta will be back again this year. So we have a very good relationship with those guys. My buddy Sam Caldwell works there, and they're actually really crushing it right now. They're really coming out with some really cool rifles. And honestly, man, they're coming out with some really, really good rifles at a very affordable price. Like, I wouldn't say cheap because the guns aren't cheap, like as in crappy, but they have just such a great thing going on right now where they're coming up with some great affordable prices and not, really killing you for what every AR is. Carnival Holsters, they're coming back, or they'll be here this year. I'm hoping that I can get them to actually still come as a full-time vendor and actually bring in a tent and have product. But those holsters are doing very, very well right now, and it's very hard to keep up with being in stock on those. So don't know how much he has that he can give up to actually sell at the match, but you will get a chance to try at least a couple of those to where you'll get a chance to really feel them, check the locking mechanism and all that stuff. I will have at least one or two of those there with a gun in them, so where you can actually see them and feel them and not have to use them if you don't want, but try them out. Glock is coming back this year. Big, massive shout out to those guys. Shane Coley, I have a personal relationship with him, man. It's amazing to have him come and see what we're doing with our matches. This is 2 years in a row. And actually, this year is the first year that we've been able to get some of the shooters from Team Glock to come in. Last year, they weren't able to make it because of their schedule, but this year they're going to be there. We're going to have a couple of their shooters in the match. I'm excited. So please make sure you stop by Team Glock, tell them thank you, and introduce yourself to them. They are a really fun, cool team. And super nice to be around and talk to. Lago Arms, baby. I want to say that I didn't think this one was ever going to happen, honestly. Like, I did not think I was going to get them to come to the match. I was lucky enough to meet Dave at SHOT Show, shoot the gun. Really, really like the gun. That's the first thing. But I got a chance to talk to him a little about what we want to do at South Carolina. And I never thought of asking him. I didn't even ask him at the SHOT Show. I never, ever, ever asked him. Because, I just don't like when people go, hey, gimme, right? So he had mentioned to me that this year they have now created a limited optics gun that is legal in USPSA. And I was like, man, that's awesome. He goes, yeah, we want to do some kind of events to where we can get shooters to come out and try our guns. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Not once did I think, cool, invite him to South Carolina. I don't want to ask people for shit. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I said, I just started talking to Todd. I was like, man, I talked to him about that, about doing an event, like having him come out and having me come to an event and bring shooters and be part of it as a coach and all that stuff. And then I was like, okay, I didn't even tell Todd. I just said, all right, cool. And I called him and I was like, hey man, I have a super great opportunity for you guys to come out and actually do what we talked about. But without you having to do shit, but just come to our match and try it, right? We got 400 shooters coming to the match, try it out, and they said yes. I was like, oh my God, like I just landed Lago Arms and they're coming to our freaking match. So it was cool because I was able to lay out the vision. And the other thing that I'm super proud of is that I partnered them up with Outdoor Dynamics for ammo. So not only are they coming to the match, but now they're partnering up with a very, very important sponsor to me personally and to South Carolina. They've been sponsoring us for a couple of years now. They're local to South Carolina. He lives in North Carolina. And they just think about their shooters thinking about shooters, right? Like they really try to take care of everybody. They try to take care of everybody financially, not gouge everybody. When everything went up, they kind of stayed as close as they could to where everybody should be with normal ammo. He makes an amazing quality product. And John's just a cool dude to be around. Like the guy is just awesome. I keep trying to talk him into vendoring this match, but I get it. I mean, he's got a family, he's got a job. His Outdoor Dynamics is not his main thing. So he's a very busy guy. Summit City Bullets is coming out this year. I actually hope to get my hands on some of those. I've never even had a chance to shoot those bullets, but I hear some good things about them. They're coming out to sponsor the match this year, or will be sponsoring the match with some certificates. I think that's all of them, man. God dang, that was a lot.
I think you have like 28, 29 sponsors.
Wow. That's awesome, dude. I'm just counting the numbers now. That's pretty nuts. So that's pretty crazy. It's way more than it was last year and way more than I thought I had originally, in there. So that's pretty wild. That actually makes me very, very happy that the hard work is starting to pay off. Like it's a lot of hard work to put into this, and I love every bit of it. Like I can't wait to see this thing actually happen in my face, right? Like it's pretty cool to see it. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, Matt, you got to go.
Yeah, hit pause.
Okay, so Matt's got to go. So before I leave, we were going to switch over to this anyway. I think Todd has something else about South Carolina, but I want to jump on this before Matt gets off. We have a big announcement. In case you didn't know, you're going to get it from the Tom Castro Shooting Academy podcast, the podcast that USPSA loves the most. That's a lie. So Mr. Todd Holmes and Mr. Matt Hopkins are in charge of some stuff at all of the nationals. Well, one of the nationals, at least for Matt, but all of the nationals for Todd Holmes. So Todd Holmes is now going to be co-match director for all of the nationals this year. Matt Hopkins is in charge of, go Matt, what are you doing this year?
Stages and setup.
Yep.
Stages and setup for all of them or just for Carry Optics?
Everything but open PCC, I think.
Yep.
I think I'll still do stages for that, but I will not be able to do setup just
Yep.
due to
Schedule.
vacation time.
Yeah.
Yep. And my title, by the way, is assistant match director. Yi-Min's still a match director. So
What did I say?
co-match
So
director.
But
I'm just, hey, I just need to make sure I get the title.
This is what happens. These guys get like they have to put a special letter on it so nobody gets hurt feelings. You know, it's like, come on, man. You guys are co-match directors, but okay, cool, whatever. Okay, assistant match director. Matt, I just wanted to make that announcement before you left, dude. Thank you.
so I am accepting stages. So there's still
Yes.
some open stages.
Okay.
If you guys want to submit something, go ahead and submit it. Send
Stipulation. Give them the
Holmes.
stipulations before they just send you a bunch of trash. What are the stipulations on the stage?
It's got to be a good stage. It's got to be ready for nationals.
Yeah.
And we always have the right to change them to fit the match flow and overall feel of the match.
And it
One
has
more
to be
thing.
to be an original stage that hasn't
There
been
you go.
shot anywhere
Yes,
else.
Yeah,
Good, he
that's a
said
good
it.
point.
That's what I was waiting. I was like, that's really the only thing I needed. But good job, Mr.
Yes.
Lawyer over there. He definitely works for a gun company.
Yeah.
He's like, don't sue me.
Just had some experiences with
Right.
people.
Oh,
before.
jeez. What the hell? You guys
Yeah.
got to get over this volunteer stuff. It's volunteer stuff for a reason.
All right,
So,
I gotta go.
all right, man. See you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Bye.
Thank you.
But
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Tom Castro Shooting Academy Next Level Podcast. This is the end of part 1. Tune in next week to listen to part 2.